Hey guys, good morning and thanks for joining. So yesterday we discussed about risk management framework and also we started compliances. In the compliances, first thing is ISO 27001. So that's what we started already. So we are going to discuss about ISO 27001. So main function or main importance of ISO 27001 is implementing information security of any organization. So that is the importance. For if you want to implement any information security of the organization, we have to follow 18 clauses. All those 18 clauses are divided into 114 compliances. First 1 to 4 clauses are belongs to our leadership, planning and approach, and also policies and the senior management discussions. All those will fall under 1 to 4 clauses. Remaining 5 to 18 clauses will fall under HR policies, legal policies, SDLC life cycle, operational security policy, asset management. All these will fall under 5 to 18. So these 5 to 18 is divided into 114 compliances. As the information security manager or information security consultant or GRC consultant, what is our roles and responsibilities? You can see this Excel sheet. So this Excel sheet, we have to share with each and every stakeholder of the organization, nothing but HR team, legal team, and also operational security team, network admin team, and legal team. Then also we have to share with the application development team and so on. After sharing with that one, and we have to schedule a call with them, and we have to ask respect to team-wise evidences. Are they following security controls or not? If they're following security controls, we have to gather the evidence, and we have to make this one as a S. So fully implemented. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, you can see here, first one is on the D column. This is the serial number or complaints number. It will start with 5.1. Okay, it will start with 5.1. And status, status is implemented or not. So here we have to see not implemented or fully implemented or partially implemented or not applicable. So these 4 options we have to select. And do you have any document on the E column? You can see, not E column, F column. Do you have documents or records to reference to prove compliance? Nothing but it's evidence. So this is evidence for the respective compliances, whether it's complaint or not. If it's complaint, we have to provide the evidence document under notes. In case it's not complaint and not applicable, what is the reason behind this one? If it is a partial complaint, what are the next steps they are going to do it? So in such a way, we have to fill all this template. After completing everything implementation, then we have to conduct internal audit. Okay. First, ISO 27000 process. Fill the Excel sheet of ISO 27001 and schedule a call with respective stakeholders. So first we have to fill and also we have to gather the evidences and also gather the evidences. And one more thing is completing the ISO 27000, it will take minimum 6 months. Okay, because 114 compliances, whatever we are going to gather the evidences, because automatically ready-made is not available. Couple of things, it is not complemented. For that one, we have to ask the documents. They will take some time to implement that particular solutions or controls and so on. So overall, on an average, if you want to implement for any company or any organization, for ISO 27001, it will take approximate 6 months. Okay. So Next one is conduct the internal audit. So internal audit we have to conduct. Internal audit side, what we have to do? We have to schedule call with all the stakeholders once again, and we have to ask the internal audit. First four clauses will be represented by our senior management. First, as the internal audit member, what we have to do? We have to give the introduction. So agenda for today, scheduling the call is to discuss about internal audit. I'm handovering to our senior management. In such a, we have to inform to one by one team member, and they will go and they will explain about their portion. So what is your role? Scheduling the call, giving the introduction about the agenda, why you are scheduling the call. And after that, senior management will come into picture. They will discuss about first four clauses. After completing that one, each and every stakeholder, whatever evidences we gathered, we have to ask them to speak that particular evidences. So that is our role. Once internal audit is completed, then what we have to do? We have to ask external auditors. So conduct the internal audit by scheduling call with all the stakeholders. Schedule a meeting with external stakeholders. Once internal audit is successful, in the internal audit, we will identify a couple of issues. Those issues we have to ask them to provide the evidences. Okay. Once internal audit successfully completed, then we have to ask external auditors to come and verify all these 114 compliances. So external auditors, who are the external auditors, are there in the respective our overall India or overall worldwide. Very famous external auditors. KPMG, Deloitte, PwC, E&Y, NCC Corporation, Lloyds Bank. So these are all the very famous external auditors. Now, once external auditors will come, same thing. So we have to start as a GRC consultant introduction. Then we have to hand over to our senior management. Once senior management is completed, first four clauses, then respect to HR team, legal team. Next one is SDLC team and the network admin team, SOC team. All these people, they will go and they will speak. And finally, we have to complete the respective overall agenda. It will take 2 days. To take external audit or internal audit, it will take 2 days. Okay. So 8 plus 8, total 16 hours. Once external auditor will come, they will verify all these respective compliances, and whatever compliances we have 114, you should not be mandatory complaint all those. At least we have to reach more than 110 or 105. If I reach more than 105 only, our score will come out of 5, 4.5 plus. So if you want to certify any certification, score must be for certifying ISO 27001 certification, score must be 4.5 plus out of 5. Out of 5, so we have to reach at least 4.5. Then only they will say all the security posture of the organization and security audit for the organization or company looks fine, and they will give good rating. In case if they are giving bad rating, once again we have to recertify. So that is the overall process. Is there any doubt on this one? As a internal information security manager and also GRC consultant, what is our role? As I said, whatever this Excel sheet is there, this sheet we have to share with all the stakeholders. And after that, we have to schedule a call with them. And we have to fill this particular Excel sheet. Okay, so complaints yes or not, like a fully implemented, partial implemented, not applicable. Okay, so not implemented. And also additionally, if it is implemented and partially implemented, we have to gather the evidences. Once after gathering the collective information from the respective stakeholders, then we have to schedule an internal audit call. And the internal audit call it after successfully completed, then one day we have to call with our external stakeholders, external auditors. These are all third-party auditors. Once those will come third-party auditors, they will take 2 days to complete the overall audit, because they will discuss each and every compliances. All those 114 compliances, it will take approximate 16 hours to review and gather the evidences and whether it is existing or not, so on and so on. After external auditor completing all the review, then out of 5 scale range, they will go, if they were giving 4 or 3.5, it is a bad, and we have to recertify once again. And in case our score is getting more than 4.5 plus, then our score is a good score and they will give the certification. So and so company is implemented and also security posture is good. And finally, we are submitting the ISO 27 certification. So this is the overall process, guys. Any doubt in ISO 27001?
No, sir.
Yeah. So in the interview point of view, what you should aware of, you should aware of these 18 clauses. Compliances, it's very difficult to remember 114. At least you have to remember 18 clauses names. Example, as I said, leadership, planning, and senior management, policies. These are all for remaining 14. Those headings is fine. Example, as I saying, HR is one stakeholder or department. Second one is asset management is one department. Network admin is one stakeholder, and the legal team is one stakeholder, and also SOC policy is one stakeholder. Application development in one stakeholders, and so on. In such a way, all the 14 stakeholders we have to contact, and we have to remember those at least headings. Okay, so if I remember those headings, that is sufficient, because as a human being, we don't need to remember all these 114 complaints. At least clauses we have to remember for the interview point of view. So that's all about ISO 27001. Then we'll move to second one, PCI DSS. So PCI DSS full form is, already we discussed this one previously in our class. It's a payment card industry data security standards. So that is the full form of the PCI DSS. So when we have to use this one, who are all the customers? They have to use this one. Whoever is doing the payment through debit card, though they are accepting, not okay doing. So every customer or every client or every user, we will do payment through credit card or debit card or net banking, right? So this particular compliance is applicable to dedicated a debit card and credit card. Payment card industry data security standard, whenever any user is making a payment through either debit card or credit card, those companies has to comply PCI DSS. So that is the business point of view, how we can define. Whoever companies are accepting financial transactions through debit card and credit card, those companies, PCI DSS is applicable and they have to comply, they have to do certification. Can you give examples of who all companies are accepting the debit card payment and credit card payment?
Zomato, Swiggy, Amazon, so all sort of
e-commerce websites.
Exactly. So Amazon, Walmart, Tesco, D-Mart, Zomato, Rapido, Uber, Ola, Swiggy, and so on. So all these companies, retail, commerce, food and restaurant and traveling based companies, almost all the companies nowadays, they are accepting this is credit card or debit card payment. So those companies has to certify these particular PCI DSS complaints. Even in our Google Pay, PhonePe, Paytm also, not only just our bank account, even we can add a debit card and credit card also. So even these companies also has to certify PCI DSS. Okay, so under this one, whenever we are making any debit card and credit card payment, these particular payments, it will go to payment gateway. So payment gateway means backend payment gateway servers. Now you can remember payment gateway servers, keep in mind, and also you are storing your debit card and credit card in the respective apps or websites, example, Amazon and Flipkart and so on. Now you can tell me what are the different types of compliances are there? Part of PCI DSS. Anyone? I'm giving once again introduction part. There you are making example, you are storing your debit card information or credit card information in the Amazon.com or Uber.com or Rapido.com or Zomato.com. Okay. So now, as a security person for that particular card, what are the different types of security controls we have to implement? That you can think one way. Second one is whenever end users are making a payment, so backend payment gateway servers are existing. According to these two things in mind, now you can tell me. So what are the different types of security controls we have to implement?
So,
So
Cards related data should be safe.
yeah,
Information providing like account number details and all.
yeah.
password also password compliances. Sir.
1 second. This one is 6 categories of the compliances. 1 second. 6 categories are divided into 12 compliances. So PCI DSS has 6 categories. Those 6 categories are divided into 12 compliances. Yeah. You are saying one by one. Yes. First one, password
PII
policies.
data.
Yeah. Password policies. Okay. Second one.
Account information, sir, related to any account information.
Account information that is not a security control. I'm asking. Password is a security control in such a way.
Oh, okay, okay.
You are storing your credit card in the respect to Amazon or Flipkart and so on. In that scenario, data at rest encryption. Because that's why whenever we are entering our debit card, it will show like into mark, masking of the respective card number. So what credit card holder data must be protected. At encryption level, credit card holder data must be protected using encryption. So that is one thing. So next one, password policies. Third one, you can think about backend servers. Servers are there. In the server side, what we have to do? Servers.
They should maintain 2 servers if one go.
Yeah, high availability. Any other?
So strong
Server security.
policies also for servers.
Already I given password policies. First one.
Okay, okay.
Under password policies, you know already. A default password should not use. And the upper letter, all those things will come basically. Okay. Server side, what are the things we'll implement? Security control. I given all the notes also. 8 controls we have to implement. Default password should not use for servers. These are payment gateway service, by the way. Next one. So we have to implement antivirus or ADR on the servers. Otherwise, malware category of the attacks will happen to payment gateway servers. It will lead to attacker will get compromised.
Sir, these are all default by we will implement, sir.
Yes, but even though it's a part of compliances, we implemented yes or no. We have to verify. That is our audit.
Okay.
So antivirus or ADR implemented and disk encryption. So server side, we have to implement disk encryption of the payment gateway servers. The next one, we have to implement logging and monitoring. Whenever any attacker is stealing or respect to data, then in that scenario, we should do traceability. Who has done what? From the attacker point of view, or maybe internal employee point of view as well. So logging and monitoring.
Hey, Sai. Pad కావాలి ప్యాడ్ కావాలి.
Next one. So we have to implement even firewall configuration policies and the perimeter level. And also, here data must be protected. Credit card holder data must be protected. There are two ways here we can protect. What are those two ways? Credit card holder data must be protected. One is data at a rest level, because we are storing our credit card in the respective websites. And second one is data at a transit level, because we are accessing the respective apps or websites. Even in the transfer level also, we have to implement the encryption part. And also we have to implement the role-based access control, RBAC. So now these are a couple of examples out of 12, 8 that is sufficient for the interview point of view. So now what we have to do, all these verifications now we have to ask our respective whoever developed the application, and also we have to ask server team. These are all these two stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders here? One is the whatever app we are using for the payment transfer, payment gateway, and also backend payment gateway servers. So these are the two stakeholders. Stakeholders are application development team. Second one is server team. And we have to gather same as it is once again, whether all these things they implemented or not, all these complaints they implemented or not, yes or no. And if it is yes, we have to ask them evidence. If everything is fine, out of 12, at least 10, then so out of 5, 4.5 score will come, and the PCI DSS certification will give the external auditors. Same as it is. First, we have to complete the internal audit with PCI DSS stakeholders of our application development team and server team. Once internal audit is completed successfully, then we have to complete external audit with external stakeholders or third-party vendors. So once they will review whatever evidences we provided, if it is sufficient, then they will give out of 5, 4.5 score. In case if it is not sufficient, then they will give some time. So whatever controls you provide is not sufficient, you can verify and come back once again. In such a way, they will give advice to us. So that is about PCI DSS. Any doubt in PCI DSS? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Yeah. Next one is GDPR. So it's one of the dangerous compliances as compared to all other compliances. General, data protection regulation. So GDPR will explain about PII data. This GDPR introduced in 2016 by our European Union. Okay. So it is applicable to PII data, personal identifiable information. Any customer PII data always must be secured, protected, and has to provide confidentiality and privacy, and it should not be leaked. So that is called GDPR compliance. This one introduced by European Union, and after that they modified in 2018. Initially they introduced in 2016. After that they modified in 2018. Okay, so GDPR applicable to initially applicable to European Union. Under the European Union, approximate 29 countries are existing. UK is out of European in 2014 or 13. So remaining countries like Italy, Sweden, Portugal, Spain, Luxembourg, Denmark, Poland. Okay, so Austria, Finland, Ireland. So all these countries will fall under European Union. Okay. So this particular GDPR applicable to European Union. Later, what happened is North America started. Example, Canada and also Mexico and USA started. We will implement GDPR as well to my customers to protect PII data of the customers. In the similar way, Australia started, Singapore started, and so on. Each and every country now implementing GDPR. So it will explain out PII data of the customers and should be protected and it should not be leaked. So that is about GDPR complaint. GDPR will explain about. This is the definition basically. Protecting end user or customer PII data. Protection. Okay, so that is the definition. So what is PII data? We discussed several times, part of DLP. Example, username, first name, last name, date of birth, Aadhaar card or national card, bank account, PAN number, driving license, email address, phone number, voter ID. So all these are examples of PII data. This PII data is very confidential and also it's a very privacy related one. So that is the reason. So they should not leak this particular customer's data. Example, if I want to say our day-to-day life, so we are a part of an SBI bank or HDFC bank or ICICI bank and so on. So at the time of bank account creation, we'll provide all of our details. We'll provide one of the Aadhaar card proof, we'll provide the first name, last name, address, everything will provide, right? That is confidential data. Now, SBI bank should not reveal our PII data. They should not leak our PII data to the respective attackers. In case they are leaking this particular PII data, huge fines or large penalties are existing. Okay. So I can show you a couple of worldwide what are the PII data biggest penalties they paid. Example, Microsoft and also Google, then Facebook and WhatsApp, then JP Morgan, in such a way, Telstra. There are so many companies. They paid a large amount of the respective GDPR penalties. Those penalties like in billions and millions also. So you can see here. So I went to CS Online. GDPR. Yeah, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can see Didi Global. It's a Chinese-based one of the ride-hailing company. It is paid $1.19 billion because they leaked China-based customer data. It's a PI data. They paid approximate $1.19 billion. Whom they will pay? Normally, whenever any attacker, they are leaking the data of their respective customers or end users, they have to pay fines to our government. In this case, they have to pay money to China government. So that is one thing. And also second one, you can say Amazon. So approximate they pay Amazon portal basically. So that retail related portal, they paid approximate $877 million. It's a huge amount basically. Equifax, it is one of the once again financial based insurance company, and they paid $575 million in 2017. And also you can see Instagram. Instagram is paid because Instagram contains a lot of confidential data at the time of whatever we are creating or we are signing up the account. So they paid in September 2022 $403 million. Next one in TikTok. So they paid approximately 345 euros millions in the part of millions. Next one, T-Mobile. It's one of the uh, Australia-based company, telecommunication company. They paid approximately $350 million once again. Facebook is paid $277 million. WhatsApp also paid $250 million. Home Department from UK. So it's a UK police department. All the respective end users data. So in this scenario, obviously, criminals data. So they released to the our public attackers basically. They paid $200 million, Capital One, and so on overall. So all these customers or companies, they paid huge amount of the data. So that is the reason GDPR is one of the very, very dangerous complaints from money point of view. Why? Because it existing huge amount or large amount of the penalties they have to pay to respect to government. Okay. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So coming back, so what we have to make sure that, and what are the compliances we have to implement for PI data? So PI data compliances are, or GDPR compliances are, India also has, GDPR compliance. We implemented long back. What is that? Anyone? What is the tag name? IT Act 2000. We also implemented GDPR, that is IT Act 2000. It's long back in 2000 itself. But problem here is we will not follow rules and regulation. So under GDPR compliances, what are the different types of 7 principles we have? There are 7 principles or compliances. First one is purpose of the data, nothing but respect to PIA data, purpose limitation, data minimization, meaning here masking of the data. Whenever in the logs, example, consider in the logs also, SOC team. So SOC team, whenever they are doing instant investigation, username, passwords, mobile numbers, all those data also, it will be stored in the logs. Whenever that particular PIA data storing in the logs, SOC team should not see those logs or PIA data. If you want to do that one, we have to use data minimization techniques or data anonymization techniques, masking of that particular data. That is the reason in the username field, we can see the username, but password field, we can see cross mark or into mark or masking. So that is called data minimization. Next one, transparency of the PI data. Additionally, lawfulness, and also fairness. Next one is accuracy of the data of PII. Next one is storage limitation. Next one is confidentiality and integrity. What is last one? Any guesses? What is last one? Confidentiality, integrity, or what is pending one?
Availability.
Yes, right. Availability. So these are all the 5 principles we have to validate part of our GDPR compliances. So now, what European government has done, these particular 7 principles or compliances, they put under Article 1 to 99. Article 1 to 99. Article 1 to 99, all these articles is not part of our GDPR compliances. Wherever PII data, so our end user data, confidential data is storing, those articles only we have to follow. Example, article number 7, article number 42, article number 35. In such a way, approximate 8 to 9 articles are there. Those articles only we have to go through. So you can go through website GDPR. Just you can see here General Data Protection Regulation. This is EU. So this is our main website where our article it contains. So article 1 to article 99. So all these chapters we don't need to remember. So wherever PI data is existing, those complaints only fine. So this is the website European government is developed. Okay. So that is about GDPR. Yes, India also implemented GDPR compliances. It's a part of IT Act 2000. Coming back to what USA has done. So they are not following central-based compliances like what we are following and what our European Union is following. They are following state-level compliances of the GDPR. So what is meant by this one? Example, they created California Consumer Act 2022, CCA, Boston Act, Pennsylvania Act, Dallas Act. Okay, in such a way, they created overall state-level GDPR compliances. But we are following central level, India-based overall compliances. European Union also following overall for 29 countries, whatever they define. Australia, they are following for their own compliances. Then Singapore is following their own compliances. And UK is following their own compliances and so on. So only USA what they have done, state level, okay, so respect to GDPR compliance implementation. So that's why I said at the time of the definition, state level or central level compliances, rules and regulations we have to follow. Okay. So that is about GDPR. So these are all the 7 principles we have to add, validate, or 7 compliances we have to validate, and we have to gather the evidences. And once internal audit is completed, and we are confident on the internal audit, then we have to call external auditors. And once external auditors will come, once again, they validate whatever evidences we are providing. And finally, out of 5 scale range, they will give certification once we are reaching 4.5 above score only. Is a good score. Now I have one question. Once we are doing the certification and this certification permanently it's a constant and there is no need to do it?
No, sir, it varies.
Exactly. So it will vary year on year, or maybe 3 years once we have to do the certification. It is not like our bachelor of degree. Once we completed graduation and mark sheet will come stating that, okay, graduated so-and-so university and college, and that is applicable to lifelong. It's not like that. So these certifications, couple of certifications we have to do year on year. Example, ISO 27001. We have to do year on year. So in this year, we completed the certification. Once again, we have to do certification next year. So in such a way, year on year. Couple of certifications we have to do once in a 3 years. So that is the way how these compliances will vary. Is it clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is about GDPR compliances. And as I said, so GDPR PA data breaching by any company, they have the large or huge amount of the penalties or fines. Example, who are all wants to do the GDPR certificates? TCS got one of the French bank project. TCS got one of the French bank project. So TCS has to certify GDPR compliance certification. Wipro got one of the project related to application development for the Italian based one of the website. All these are European companies, right? Countries. So Wipro got one of the Italian related website application development. Now Wipro has to certify. So GDPR certification. In case TCS or Wipro, if they are leaking Italian based customers data and also French bank customers data, now large or huge amount of data fines they have to pay to the European government countries like, as I said, French and also Italian countries. Is it clear or not?
So can you once again?
Example, TCS got one of the French bank project related to SOC operation. Or Wipro got one of the consider Sweden bank, one of the European project. Or Infosys got one of the Italy bank project. So now TCS, Infosys, Wipro, these companies have also certified GDPR compliance certification. Additionally, so this TCS company, Infosys company, Wipro company, in case they are leaking the French bank data of the customers or Italian bank of the customers, Sweden bank of the customers, now respect to Sweden, Italy, and also France government, they'll put lot of fines to these three companies or consulting based companies. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is about overall GDPR part. Next one is SOX. Sarbanes-Oxley Act. Sarbanes-Oxley Act. This is implemented in 2014. And after that, it's updated in 2018. Implemented in 2014 and updated in 2018. So what is Sarbanes-Oxley Act will explain about? It will explain about financial transactions of the company. Difference between PCI DSS and SOX. So PCI DSS is dedicated applicable to if you are doing payment or financial transaction through debit card or credit card only. But SOX complains any financial transactions if you are doing. So those companies has to certify SOX compliances. Any financial transaction. Example, maybe we are purchasing one of the tool from the IBM company or HP company. That particular payment we are doing, maybe net banking or UPI or maybe cash and so on. Now we have to, now the respective companies vendor has to certify SOX compliances. So any company, in case they're accepting finance as a cash or net banking or UPI or debit card or credit card, that particular companies, they have to do the SOX compliances. It's completely depending on financial transactions only. Every company will give now salaries at the end of the every month, right? Using ERP platforms like SAP or Oracle, right? So now those companies also has to do SOX compliances. That means indirectly each and every company has to do SOX compliances. So this compliance is applicable to whoever company is doing financial transactions and also reports. So nothing but money transfer basically. So those company has to comply. Now Sarbanes-Oxley Act. So if you want to do Sarbanes-Oxley Act compliances, we have to remember 6 compliances. So financial transactions, what are the famous platforms, guys? What are the famous ERP platforms?
Oracle and SAP.
Yes, correct. So famous ERP platforms, every organization will maintain. One is SAP, second one is Oracle. Now, all these are payment databases, backend databases they will maintain, or backend servers they will maintain. So most of the cases backend databases, because all these transactions will go through the payment gateways or backend servers or databases. So now keep in mind a database of the SAP and Oracle, like 11G, 12G, or 13G, or GridGain, or Couchbase, or SAP database. Under these one, now what are the compliances will fall under SOX? There are 6 compliances. First one is internal control. So whether internal security controls are implemented to access the backend databases, if they are implementing what type of controls implement related to security. So we have to verify all those controls and we have to gather the evidences. Second one is network activity, how we are accessing these particular databases of the Oracle or SAP. So through VPN or through site-to-site VPN or through remote VPN. Okay, so that network activity evidences we have to gather. Next one is the data activity or database activity. Whenever someone trying to access the database, what type of data they access, the database activity. Next one is login activity. When you say login activity, it's audit based. Who is logged in and who is logged out. So that 1 year overall baseline activity we have to take. Next one is user activity. In case if you are creating any user accounts in the databases of the ERP platforms, so what they have done 1 year time period, what are the actions they have done in the database level? So that user activity, we have to gather the evidences from the security point of view. Last one is information access. How they are accessing respect to ERP platforms or data. So these are all the compliances will fall under SOX compliances. Now, as a SOX compliance auditor, what we have to do? We have to speak with SAP and Oracle database team, and we have to gather all these evidences. Once internal audit completed successfully, now we have to call external auditors. That process same as it is. And once external auditors is satisfying whatever evidences we are providing, and after doing the auditing part, finally they will give score out of 5. In case score, if we are getting more than 4.5, then they will give SOX certification. Yes, these persons are ready to go for the business, are ready to they can do for business. So that is about SOX compliances. So these particular evidences, whenever we are taking, it's for 1 year baseline. So I'll put that one also. Evidences or activity. Baseline is 1 year. So that is about SOX. So we are moving to next one. Next one is the fifth one. HIPAA compliances. Health insurance. Portability. Accountability. And act. Health insurance, portability, accountability, and act. So that is called HIPAA. So based on the name itself, overall the company has to do this particular compliance. Anyone? Which company has to do HIPAA compliances?
Health insurance companies, sir.
Health insurance companies. Who else?
And hospital industry also, sir.
Yes, correct. Hospital industry. Health insurance companies, this law is applicable. Next one is hospitals. Next one.
Even
So,
companies also, I mean, where the
Organizations,
which organizations?
product,
whoever gives the health insurance cards and all.
Yeah, that will fall under all the health insurance companies. Finally, product development related companies. When you say product development companies, healthcare based product development companies. Product development companies of healthcare. Can you give examples of product development healthcare companies? Product development healthcare companies. Philips, not NXP, GE Healthcare, Medtronics, Johnson Johnson, and so on. All these are, they are developing the products. What type of products they are developing? Example, heart-based products, radiology related products. There are so many products. Whether doctors, they are doing manual verification of the checking for any disease identification. I'm asking you, so by seeing the patient with manual way, whether doctor is identifying any disease existing or not,
No,
without any tools.
no.
Yeah, they are also using the tools basically. For everything they will use tools only. So CT scan or heart related beats or BP checking and so on. For everything, they will use tools only. We will use same tools. They will use based on the which part is affecting. According to that one, they will also use tools only. Okay. So without tools, no doctor is nowadays, they are verifying manual disease and so on. So those products basically, that is meant by product development companies. So related to healthcare industry. Example, Philips, GE Healthcare. There are so many companies, but these are a couple of famous companies. So these companies has to certify now HIPAA compliances. So this is implemented in 2002. Okay, but HIPAA institutional organization, they did not define how many compliances. So they have to provide couple of security controls, what are we are following as organization related to same like ISO 27001, and they will validate all those controls, and they will certify it. So that's all. There are no specific compliances for the HIPAA. Endpoint level, we have to implement controls. Network level, we have to implement controls. Application level, we have to implement controls. Basically, it's the overall security controls they have to implement. Okay, so endpoint, network, application, cloud, servers, databases, and so on. So that is HIPAA compliances. All those controls they have to implement. Example, take maybe you want to make a doctor appointment. In that scenario, couple of companies, they will give apps. Example, Apollo Hospitals app, Yashoda Hospital apps, and so on. And also even they have website also, www.apollohospitals.com, www.yashodahospital.com, and so on. So those websites and those apps also, sufficient security controls implemented or not. Backend databases, they implemented security or not in the perimeter level, endpoint level, and so on. All these security controls, compliance information, they have to share the auditor, and auditor will validate as internal audit. And once internal audit will complete successfully, external audit, external audit will be done by external auditors, and finally they will give certification. So for this one, there is no specific compliances or control. What are ISO 27000 is defined, or GDPR is defined, or PCI DSS is defined, and so on. So they have to implement control for each and every end level or network level, application level, cloud level, and so on. So that is HIPAA compliances. There is no specific count also. Okay. The next one is SOC 1 and SOC 2. There is no full form for this one. There is no full form for SOC 1 and SOC 2. So SOC 1 and SOC 2 means it's not a security operations center, guys. So there is no full form also for this one. Just SOC 1 and SOC 2, that's it. And overall company has to certify this SOC 1 and SOC 2. So SOC 1 and SOC 2 has to certify cloud service providers. Cloud service providers. In case if we are hosting as a company or applications in the cloud environment, now we have to certify our SOC 1 and SOC 2 certifications. Okay. Example, I'm going to start up startup company. All those applications, servers, databases, infrastructure, platform, everything I'm putting in the cloud itself. Now I have to certify SOC 1 and SOC 2. Is clear or not? Whoever companies hosting the applications in cloud environment, those companies has to certify SOC 1 and SOC 2. Okay. So SOC 1 is initially SOC 1, later SOC 2, now SOC 3 also came. It's a basically cloud-based controls. Cloud-based controls. So when I say cloud-based controls, you can see I'm opening Amazon Web Services, not Amazon shopping site, Amazon Web Services site. Under that one, you can see products or solutions. You can go to solutions. Under that solutions, you can see security. One second. Not solution, products only. Yeah. Can you see through security, identity, and compliance? Can you see security, identity, and compliance on the left-hand side from last third one?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So these are all the compliances we have to implement. One is identity and access management, Amazon Cognito, Amazon Detective, Amazon Guard Duty. It's a SIM tool in the cloud services of the Amazon. AWS Inspector, that is for scanning of the VMs in the cloud instances. Amazon Maze, it's for discover and also protecting the respective sensitive data. And Amazon Security Lake, Amazon Verified Permissions, Artifacts, Audit Manager, Cloud HSM to store the respective credentials or passwords or keys. Amazon Firewall Manager. Okay, so WAF and so on. So all these are couple of security compliances part of Amazon side. Same thing is applicable to Azure side. Same thing is applicable to GCP, Google Cloud Platform, Alibaba, Oracle, and also IBM. So now, in case if I'm hosting my applications in the Amazon services, cloud service provider, or Azure cloud service provider, and so on, now I have to implement all these compliances, all these security controls. So then only our applications must be protected, our data must be protected, and data security controls will be available. So that is about SOC 1, SOC 2 controls. Any doubt? This is basically cloud security, guys. So many people will ask me, RK, will you teach me cloud security course, or what content will be there in cloud security? So this is the course content for cloud security as well. If you know about security, identity, and compliances related to cloud part, then it is you are applicable to even cloud security vacancies also. But you should be aware of all these around 20 services, in-depth analysis, configuration, implementation, and also troubleshooting of L1, L2, and L3, even operational support of L1, L2, L3. Then yes, you are also applicable to apply cloud security vacancies. Any doubt? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Yeah. So that is about SOC 1 and SOC 2. Based on the cloud service provider security compliances have to implement. So that is SOC 1, SOC 2. Next one is FedRAMP. This is very, very costly certificate as compared to all other certificate. Costly. Costly means it is very expensive certificate. If you want to do this certificate, it will cost approximately $2 million. Okay. So FedRAMP, who has to do? FedRAMP will be done by cloud service providers, not customers. SOC 1, SOC 2 will be done by whoever is hosting the application in the cloud. Everyone has to do the SOC 1, SOC 2 compliance. But FedRAMP who has to do? FedRAMP should be done by cloud service providers. For these cloud service providers, we discussed Amazon, Azure, GCP, Oracle, or IBM, or HP, or Alibaba, and so on. Those company has to do. And this FedRAMP certification also applicable to most of the cases. Initially, it is started with the public or government sector in the USA. This FedRAMP certification dedicatedly applicable to USA. Initially, it is applicable to only public sector or government sector companies. Later, they are started implementing for private sector also. Example, these complaints applicable to cloud service providers, and also second one is, in case I am developing one of the product, it's a SaaS based product, a cloud product. Example, QRadar on cloud. Next one, Tenable IO. Tenable IO also cloud tool. CrowdStrike, Carbon Block. All these are cloud tools, right? So in case any company or customer, they need our tool, we should certify, right? So product development companies as well for cloud solutions. Cloud service provider is one type of companies. Second companies are cloud product development companies. And whichever customer this one is applicable, this company has to certify. Initially, as I said, it is applicable to USA public sector or gov sector. Navy, Army, Police Department, Healthcare, hospital, government hospitals, not private. Next one is public safety, defense. So later what happened? They started with the private sector also. Later it is applicable to private sector as well. So that is about FedRAMP certification. Under this one, we have approximate 450 plus compliances, guys. FedRAMP compliances list. 450 plus. Will you remember 450 plus compliances?
No, sir.
Yeah. So one Excel sheet will be there. So we have to sit with respect to companies, and it is yes or no. That's all we have to do. So that is FedRAMP compliances part. Example, maybe I'm working for Microsoft company, or maybe I'm working for Google company, and so on. Now my services or my products are deploying by US-based one of the company. Now they will ask, do you have FedRAMP certification or not? If I want to show as evidence to whoever is asking the FedRAMP certification, now I have to fill up all those certification related compliances and I have to send it back to the customer. Customer will trust us now and he'll provide business to us. After completing all these 450 compliances as an internal auditor, we have to verify. And once everything is fine and we are confident on 450 compliances, same as it is, we have to call external auditors, and external auditors will validate all these 450 compliances. Finally, they will give our certification to FedRAMP. So that is about FedRAMP certification. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Yeah. So remaining a couple of approximate, we discussed 6 to 8. First one is ISO 27001. Second one is PCI DSS. Third one is GDPR. Fourth one is SOX. Fifth one is HIPAA. Sixth one is SOC 1, SOC 2. Seventh one is FedRAMP. Totally, we completed 7. So at least first 4 or 3, if you know, that is more than sufficient to crack the interview. So mainly they will ask ISO 27001 only. Second one, couple of other companies, they'll expect PCI DSS and GDPR and also SOX. First 4, if you know, 100% you can crack any interview. But you should be aware of other complaints also. In the evening class, I will discuss about remaining compliances. Remaining complaints almost we discussed. Example, you can consider NIST. NIST complaints already we discussed. Example, risk management framework, incident life cycle management process. And also we discussed our CS hardening benchmark. So that's for hardening of the servers. And also we discussed about ITL process, incident life cycle management process, problem statement, solution statement, and the change management process. In this similar way, we discussed about WASP top 10. Okay, so then couple of other things we have to discuss, like ISO 9001, ISO 14001, SAPSA, TOGAF, GLBC. So that one I will explain the evening class. Evening class, I will complete overall GRC part. Then we can start network security. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So it's very simple, guys. So GRC vacancy is very, very simple. So in overall security technologies, only 2 vacancies are very, very simple for cracking the interviews. One is vulnerability management. Second one is GRC. It's a very simple vacancy, and also work also very less for these 2 vacancies. And whatever I am giving, and if are going through all this, so definitely we'll select for GRC vacancies as well. As I said, approximate 10 to 20 students are selected for the GRC vacancy itself. Okay, so that's all for today morning, and today evening I'll take class around 8 o'clock.
Okay, sir.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Thank you.